Yes. Hello, I'm Sheila
Hello.
Preston, and I'm founder of Thriving Facilitators, which supports heart-centered practitioners who work in community and educational settings. So tonight I'm speaking with Abi, who's a member of Thriving Facilitators. And so we're going to talk about Abi's work and why she is a member of Thriving Facilitators. So hello and welcome, Abi.
Hello, nice to see you, and thank you for inviting me to come and talk on this. Yeah, I'm a member of Thriving Facilitators. I've been facilitating work for 35 years. I started way back in 1985 when I was 15, running a youth theatre, and all the time my whole work was about winging it. Really, at the start, it was about going, I know a few games and I've got an opportunity and I'm just going to go with it. And I think as I've worked through the years and I've got training and I've built up more work, I think part of me is looking at how do I disseminate this work? How do I assess my own learning, assess my work, and build and grow as a facilitator? And I think that joining Thriving Facilitators when I did during the lockdown was very much about going, right, now things are completely different. We're in a different phase of facilitation using digital facilitation rather than live facilitation. This is a really good time to really think about what kind of facilitator I want to be, how I can change my practice, how I can work with my practice. I currently work with an organisation called Collective Encounters. We're a theatre for social change theatre company based in Liverpool. And I do the outreach work with that company. So a lot of my facilitation is one-off or short programmes of work, but I also have a group that I work with on a long-term basis. So I'm doing sort of one-off workshops, a series of 10 workshops, or I'm working with people for years at a time. And so each of those, I think, is different skills, and each of those is about managing in different ways.
Yeah.
And I think when I first met Sheila, I met Sheila through she was doing some coaching with me because work had sort of said it might be a good time to really think about what you want to do and who you are, and they very, very kindly facilitated me having some coaching with Sheila. And I think it came at a really good time. I think that what had happened in the process of lockdown was that I had gone from being quite a thriving facilitator to being in complete survival mode, and I was putting a lot of barriers up to it. I was finding I was being very hard on myself, and my perfectionist self was coming out, and I wasn't really looking out for myself. I was just reacting, I think. And I think the one thing that really helped was to sit back, to be in the space, to be in the moment. And I think it was going back to sort of facilitating at the beginning when it's all new. And I think sometimes when you've been doing something for a long time, a new challenge comes in and it's like a curveball and it goes woo, and it takes you into a different space and place. And I think that that coaching really helped me sort of level out and really look at being kind to myself and being enough, but also looking at how I wanted to thrive and where I wanted to go forward, which is great. And then out of that coaching, it seemed really good to doing some of that action learning that we do in Thriving Facilitators, to join together, to meet other facilitators, to start to have that dialogue with people working in the field and be able to both share skills, but also learn things and just have different perspectives on what we're doing. So it's been such a great learning, and it feels like I'm part of a facilitation community. And I think as a freelancer and someone who's often working alone, I've worked all over the world, I've worked often by myself in places, to suddenly feel part of a bigger family. And I think when I started, facilitation wasn't even really a thing. You sort of ran workshops, the art of facilitation, books about it weren't really out there. It was very much people feeling their way and trying hard. And I think for me, it's about ethical practice. It's about being in the moment. It's about best practice and all of those things. And I think how we're going to achieve that is to have dialogues, to have those conversations, and to build up sort of a real body of best practice in terms of techniques, but also in terms of heart-centeredness and going into the workshop in the right frame of mind, in the right frame of being, and also that reflective work, which is so hard to do by yourself. It just is. We can write diaries and journals, but bouncing ideas off other people and coming into frames and going, that was really hard, or that was really great, and having that platform to do so is a really positive thing, I think, about Thriving Facilitators. There's a community of us, and we're all striving to be the best that we can be, and to give what we can give, and to be enough, and to not be in survival, but to thrive and grow the community. And I think that's brilliant.
Wow. Wow. So how do you feel generally about support for facilitators and people who do social engagement work?
I think I am very lucky that I work for a company where we are very supportive and we support each other and uphold each other. But I look back on my career and I look back over the years that I've worked, and sometimes I've felt very alone within it. And I felt very, which is okay when you're having those good days. It's okay when you're doing the things that tick and you get those lovely results and you get those beautiful magic moments in facilitation. But it's really hard when you come away from a workshop and you think, oh, that just didn't happen. That just was not working for me. And where do you take that? And I think that for a long time, there's been a gap in that resource. And I think that what Thriving Facilitators, does, and that heart centered facilitator and this dialogue does, is it offers a space for facilitators to really grow and to have that, to support each other, both on the online presence through Facebook, but also in the sessions that we do. And I think that works really well, because I think it is a solo sport often, facilitation. Gone are the days when we had, they had the finance to have 2 or 3 facilitators in the room, which were lovely and fantastic, but often you're on your own, and and it's challenging. There's I found through my career that people have disclosed information to me, that all sorts of things have occurred in facilitation, that sometimes teachers and other workers can sabotage the work that you're doing. And it's almost like having a network or a body of people doing that. There are things you can do and skills you can learn and journeys you can take from each other that really help in that sort of how I might manage that in the future.
And so that's really interesting. Yeah. And so in terms of what you use in the membership, so there's the online, there's the meeting up, coaching, supervision sessions, and then there's a growing platform of online materials. You're quite a live person, aren't you?
I am.
Am I guessing you are? I mean, so I'm guessing that you.
A live person, and I do like that live interaction, but I do go back to those videos, and I do sometimes just check in and have a look and go, okay, where's that coming from, and where am I on this journey? Because I think it's true, really true what you say. You can be thriving 1 minute and then go back into survival. It's not a linear process that you hit thrive and you stay and thrive and you're there forever. I think that it's a journey, and it's a journey we take in our learning, and I think for me, what's been brilliant is that it's rekindled that energy, and it's made me go, yeah, I'm doing okay. And I think sometimes we lose sight of just doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. And that community. And I think what's lovely is you meet people from all over the place too, all over the different worlds apart, and different places in the world. And it's about that networking. And I don't think that can happen offline. I think that needs to happen online. But it's also I think there is space and time for people to share, but also I do think the resources are great to dip into. For me, for some people, it might be following the program step by step. I'm non-linear in the way that I work, so I dip into things as I go. Oh, that looks interesting, and dip in and out. So and I love the Facebook as well, because sometimes it's just touching base with people to go, hi, how are you doing, or I've got this offer, do you fancy doing it, kind of thing.
And what you were talking about earlier was the Thriving Facilitators Roadmap, which is a kind of self-development reflective pathway that I've created so that members can assess where they're at in terms of and it begins with survive and survival mode, and really acknowledging survive as an important part of our existence, but also recognizing that to be actually thriving, there's a whole set of stages that we can kind of development and understanding about our who we are and all of that actually leads us to a more healthy place, let's say, a more sustainable, healthy place. So so it's great that you're kind of checking in with that as you go through the membership.
Yeah, definitely. I had every good intention at the beginning to do it in a linear process and go through, and then I found that there were bits that were resonating that I wanted to revisit, and the joy of it being is that you can go backwards and forwards, and then I wanted to jump ahead and go, oh, how about this? And so it's great the resource is there, because you can use it in lots of different ways, which I think is really good. I'm really sorry, I'm just going to pull off screen because my computer battery is going low because I had to get another computer. So it will take me 5 seconds. So I do apologize. This is the joy of live, isn't it? And the joy of the joy of live and the joy of technology. You have to plug in. And I'm in. That's fine.
So the membership is open today, only for a few days, but open for new members for a few days. So what would you say to someone who was kind of unsure about investing in this way because maybe they haven't done that before? What would you say to them?
I would say it's a great investment. It's about investing in you as a practitioner. It's about growing you as a practitioner. It's not. I think some months I get more out than other months, and that's fine. It's because life gets in the way and it's unpredictable. But I would say it is a great community. It's a great way of beginning to look at your work in a new way. And I think for any facilitator, it's an adventure and it's a journey. And I think that you don't often get the opportunity to take these journeys and have these reflective moments with other people in a supported community. And I would say I wish in some ways it was here 10, 15 years ago or even 30 years ago when I was starting out. It would have been a great tool. So I would say wherever you are in your journey of facilitation, it's a really excellent space to come into and to begin to process some of how you work and how you want to work.
Yes, yeah, no, that's great. Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Abi, for coming on and speaking with me about your work and Thriving Facilitators. So it's been great. Yeah. So we'll call it a day, and I'll hopefully see you next week or when you can next make a session.
Thank you very much. And I would also just say Sheila is brilliant at drawing things out and using her experiences. And I think that's really important, that, it comes from a really heart-centered place, and that draws us into that space and that learning. So, a plug for Sheila as well. She's marvellous.
Oh, that's so lovely of you. Thank you so much, Abi.
See you soon. Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye.